Bong, Season 4, Episode 20. We are back. We took a week off. We went fishing. Some of us went catching.
You caught one, right?
Yeah.
That night? You caught a couple?
Got a couple that night.
Finally.
The monkey is dead.
The monkey is dead. The skunk is off. It happened. I couldn't be happier. That was like a euphoric feeling when I finally, even though it was a small fish.
Yeah.
It was just like a...
Who cares?
Yeah.
I mean, it's done, right?
Yeah.
So, I mean, is what it is.
I was just like, I mean, you could obviously tell by the smile on my face.
Yeah, I don't think you smiled that much at your wedding.
You're right. You're 100% right. I'll have to show Mandy that picture and tell her that exact line. And then I'll come back next week with a black eye.
With a black eye, yeah.
Yeah. And it happened, like, fast. I felt the bump and then I just strip set.
Yeah.
And it was there.
It was pretty interesting night.
We were right into fish pretty much immediately.
Yeah, I mean, I
lost that one.
I lost that one at the boat, being an absolute retard.
What happened?
I just reached down and grabbed the fucking leader on a fish that was tight and about to run, and just broke the fly off.
We gotta get a net.
Yeah. That's on the list of things to go grab while the boat's down. The boat's in the shop. Backed it in today before the rain because I'm not an idiot. And
The transplant
is happening.
You must be excited.
I am very excited. Hold on. Let's see if this will work in the middle of this. I don't know if this is going to work. Whatever.
What's that, the live feed?
Yeah. Now we're green. We dropped it down. All right. It should be better. I don't know if YouTube's working or not, but... Open widget. Okay. Our stream status is poor. Now it looks better. Now we're back. Okay. We're just trying to do some stuff. Some new stuff.
Getting my good side.
Getting the good sides. Trying to record a better video quality. You know, we're here for the people.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, stripers on the fly have been a fucking thing this year. It's apparently the only way I can fish. Because I've gone out... Oh, well, we went out once with sabikis and jigged up some mackerel. And just throwing them out, live lining them. And I caught one fish. It was a good fish. I lost another fish. Mainly because I was just being an idiot. And... proceeded to watch Heath catch like 6 or 7 fish, which was good. He needed to catch some fish on his boat because he still has not landed a fish on the fly on his boat.
Really?
And I have landed more than I remember. And I've been doing a lot of boat driving on that boat. Like, I haven't been fishing on it. Like,
we were like, I'm just going to let you fish.
Yeah, dude. So I went out with him and Ian on Saturday morning, and we kind of bounced around a little bit, and then we went over to one spot, and Heath was like, all right, just fucking fish. I was like, all right. So I stand up, fucking hook into a good fish, one of the better, probably the best fish I've caught on a fly rod.
Yeah.
Pushing 30. Don't know exactly. Didn't even measure it. Just fucking picked it up enough to fucking pull the hook out and fucking take a quick pick and back in. And then I was like, all right, I'm done. And that was at like 6. We all fished together for a little bit. Just because like we were stopped and there were so many boats around, and we fished 3 guys and it wasn't that bad. There's no big tangles or anything, so that was good. But I fished for a little bit there. No one pulled a fish out, and there were fish fucking everywhere. There's boats also everywhere, but I think it was just like the fish were there. They weren't feeding that hard. It was getting towards like mid morning. And then we went upriver further, and I just sat back and I was just driving the boat. I drove the boat from like 6:45 to 9, probably almost all of it, and didn't fish at all. And then fished for like 25, 30 minutes, and then we went up further upriver as the tide was starting to turn. And I put those guys all through like where we were when you caught your fish. Nobody was home. Went to the other side of the river, and Heath was like, all right, just fucking fish. Like, it's been like 2.5 hours. I was like, all right, whatever. I'm fine fucking driving a boat. I really don't give a fuck. Like, second cast, fucking caught another fish. I was like, all right. Can confirm there are fish here. Sat back. I fucking put my reel cover back on. I was like, all right, I'm done. Like, it's literally like my cast per catch right now is pretty fucking high.
Yeah.
It's a pretty high percentage right now. Because even like that night, like the other night when we were out with you, like I broke that fish off at the boat. I tied on another one. I didn't really fish that much.
No, you.
And I was just hanging out, driving the boat around. And then I was dead set on getting you a fish where we got you a fish.
Yep.
And I was also sort of dead set on trying to get my father a fish. And then watching him fucking try and cast a fucking striper rod is just... He said he's been working on it. He said he's been out in the center island casting.
Good.
I said, well, that's good, because I was getting frustrated enough that I stood up behind him and casted over him and caught a fish over him.
Can't confirm. I didn't see that.
I was like, I can't handle this.
I was watching him, and I mean, obviously he's new to it, and so am I. But like, I kept my mouth shut. But like it was the same. It was like watching me cast when I first tried figuring it out.
It's just too dainty. Like you don't have to have presentation, really.
No.
Like the biggest thing is like, and like the thing that creates the presentation is being able to shoot that fucking fly.
And I found like that pause where you wait for that line to load out behind you so you can go forward, and you don't want that you don't need to fucking fling it forward. You want the line to do the work, to shoot it. And that was my biggest bugaboo, I think. And I'm on the cusp of figuring that out. Like obviously I'm not the best, but I was casting.
You're casting all right out
50
there.
feet. And, but just watching them cast to those stripers that were busting on top of the water.
Yeah. Yeah, they were right there.
Can we also talk about, since we're on the subject of George?
That poor fuck he met on the river.
Oh, you must have saw I did it in quotation marks. I'm gonna go fly fishing on Monday because there shouldn't be a lot of people there.
Yeah.
Meets George.
Yeah. That, and now as a potential listener, so I apologize. And then, so I said that to my old man, and he's like, yeah, but, like, we got along, like, really good. Like, we talked about a lot of the same stuff and all this. And I was like...
Just the fact that
Okay.
That the guy gave him some flies.
Yeah.
George went and caught a fish on it.
And then tracked him down the river.
Walked back to him to tell him.
Hey, thanks, bud. Do. It's like a golden retriever. And then the guy hands him his fucking Euro rod and has George catch a fish on his Euro rod.
I couldn't imagine trying to explain Euro fishing to George.
Yeah.
Like, I don't even understand it. But your dad's engineer brain trying to figure it out.
I mean, it's not, like, once you figure out what you need to be doing, like, it's not complicated. It's not a hard thing of doing it. It's really just, like, making sure your setup is dialed up for where you are. You need a heavy bottom fly, and then you need tags off of it, and then you just want that bottom fly. You want to be able to feel it just bounce the bottom.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's a very, 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 very effective way to fish. Success rate is extremely through the roof. And the fact that George caught a fish on it is also mind-blowing.
Yeah.
But, yeah, that poor guy, he didn't know what he was getting into by talking to somebody on the river.
No. Yeah. Warren, how's it going? Yeah. It's good. What are you doing? I mean...
There's 74 minutes of fucking life you'll never get back.
So we haven't recorded since before Memorial Day, right?
Correct.
So we both had trips north.
We did.
How was yours?
My trip was awesome. We caught so many fucking fish. It was a 2-day trip. First day, very long day. Tell you what, the Errol Motel is a nice spot. It checks the bill for what you need. Just enough room to take a shower, take a shit, and lay down. And there's a little bar right down the street that was fantastic.
Yeah.
Got some good pizza. Got some wings. Got some... I don't remember what they're called. They were like these fucking tater tots on crack. They were like...
like powder kegs.
They were powdered kegs.
Yeah.
But they were stuffed with fucking cheese and bacon.
Yeah.
They were phenomenal. After a day of fishing, and I don't eat, so literally like my first meal of the day.
Yeah.
But yeah, we got into a lot of fish on Thursday. Friday, the fishing was good. We had the place to ourselves. We could move around. Definitely dialed in the Euro game a lot better. And then we went to go try another spot, took the boat, and that wasn't doing shit down there. And like we had talked with some guys Thursday evening on the river. It was funny, like literally everyone I met up there was from like Portland South.
Really? Like
all on the coast, like or I guess, yeah, I mean Cape Elizabeth, and then these other guys were actually from Sanford. One guy owns like a 90-acre farm in Sanford, and I was like, huh.
Oh shit.
But we got talking with those guys, and they were like, yeah, we're going to try down there tomorrow. I was like, oh, cool. So we went down there. We ended up running into them. And it's a lot more wading down below.
Yeah.
And the old boy just had fucking one hip done and both knees or something like that. And it's like not really where you want to be. Yeah. Some of it wasn't bad, but like the other parts of it were like, you shouldn't be out there. And just like watching him try and get around, I was like, good God. Like I'm not in the mood to go save someone right now.
Yeah.
But then we went back up north to second, and yeah, the wind picked up. It picked up so much that the river was flowing at 660, and we were up over our anchor. Yeah. It was sick.
Yeah.
Couldn't even, like, hold a fly rod. Like, it was blowing so bad. So we were like, all right, pulling the plug on this. Left. Hit a couple spots on the mag. Again, super fucking windy. The mag was flowing. Oh, no, I'm sorry. What was the rapid flowing? The rapid was at 1200. The mag was 660. The mag at 660 is pretty angry. It's a lot of water for a temporary release the fucking day before a fucking holiday weekend. Pricks.
Yeah, then they dropped it down to
350, like optimal fucking perfect river conditions. So, but we'd also caught enough fish on Thursday. I really didn't care how Friday went. And we caught enough fish Friday morning before anyone showed up to where we were. Heath lost probably one of the biggest salmon I've ever seen in my life. So now we're 2 for 2 on trips up north with watching him lose giant fish. So that's going well. But, like, also not targeting salmon at all.
Mm-hmm.
Fishing 5X. And you hook into a fucking 6 or 7 pound salmon that just wants to run to fucking Ecuador. Like, you can't stop him.
So when you're, say you were targeting fish like that, what are you running for tibet? Like 4X?
4, 3, 2. They don't give a shit.
Yeah.
Like, you're swinging big flies. Like, I mean, it hit a big fly. Like, it was a good sized fly that it was eating. Like, the leeches, they were fucking killing them. So, yeah. It was those 2 days. Then we came home. We started striper fishing right away, basically. I didn't go out Saturday, did I? I don't think I did. We had soccer. I went out Sunday. And then I went out Monday. And then we fished Wednesday. I fished Tuesday. Tuesday night, I fished with Heath. Caught more fish on his boat. Wednesday, fished with you. Thursday. Did I fish Thursday last week? I don't remember. I don't know if I fished Thursday or not. And then fish Friday, Saturday.
I got to get out with Heath, so striper fishing, so I can take my bad juju, take his bad juju away, and get him fish.
Well, so I thought that was going to work on Saturday with Ian. Someone was going to take some juju away, and I just still have a fucking horseshoe up my ass from fucking on his boat. Like, and the second fish I caught on Saturday was probably one of the fucking most just beautiful, like, I ripped a fly at the bank. It landed, like, perfectly, like, an inch away from seaweed to get caught. And I was just, like, sitting there watching it, like, and it was a bright fly. And, like, the water was just, like, super clear around it. Like, it's kind of wild, like, you think about, like, how much that river moves. That'll work. And, like, just, like, to be able to see so clearly.
Mm-hmm.
And, like, that fly landed, and I just kind of watched it for a minute. And I literally stripped it twice. And on the second strip, this fucking striper came up out of nowhere and just smoked it.
Yeah, that was wicked cool in that video, just to watch that. Because like you said, it was out of nowhere. Like, you see the fly, then all of a sudden, boom, there's a fish there.
Yeah, it was fucking sick. Yeah. Oh, no, I did fish Thursday night because we took the boat out for dinner.
Yeah.
And just in case anyone is wondering, if you do see birds working, there's going to be a fish under there.
Good chance.
I haven't met too many bait fish that are just completely suicidal, that just run up to the top of the water column so they can get eaten by birds for no reason. Now, it might be a little harder to get down to those fish and to get them to eat what you're throwing.
But they're there.
But they're there. Or they were there. And they're still in the area. But when you see like 400 to 500 birds working in the spot, there's fish over there. There's actually probably a lot of fish. So, little pro tip: if you see birds, go to birds, catch fish. That's, but now, full disclosure, not a registered Maine guide, so I'm not sure if I can give that kind of information out. I don't want to be stepping on anyone's toes. Nor captain, yeah. Should have that. There's no reason I don't. But, regardless, not a captain, nor a full-time guide now. So, maybe if you see birds, maybe you shouldn't go towards them. I don't know. It's up to debate, but based on the fish that I've put in a boat this year, all of them have been with birds. How was trolling up on old fucking Moose Lick Maguntix?
Slow. It was a lot of driving around. Like, obviously not the type of fishing I like to do, but Gramp enjoys it. Abel got out on the boat. He caught his first brook trout ever. Mandy caught one. I caught one. Then I had one. So we were running 2 lead core rods.
Yeah.
On either side, and then I had my fly rod, my 8-weight with a big gray ghost off of that, stripped all the way out to the backing. And I had one really good strike on that, and I had it on for a minute, and then it came off.
Yeah.
So we did that. We got there Friday night late, kind of set up camp, hung out. It was cold Friday night. Had a wood stove. Those wood stoves get cranking in those tents.
You were in the one of like the guide tents up there?
The wall tents.
Yeah.
I had it up to approximately 125 degrees.
Nice.
So like,
little Swedish fucking steam room.
Grab had given me a probably 70-pound bag of wooden hardwood dowels that he got from somebody, from a mill. So it's like this mill that they turn railings and chair legs and shit like that. So it was all the cutoffs from the ends of the blocks that they turn. So they were anywhere from 3 inches to 12 inches. And you get the fire going and you put those in and they burn hot and fucking forever. And so we were using those for firewood and they worked awesome. But they would get that fucking tent warm. Like I was sitting up reading and
with fucking sweatbands on your wrists and fucking head.
Pretty much.
Jackie Moon style.
Mm-hmm. But the tents aren't insulated, obviously, so...
Right.
By morning, it was pretty cold. So we did that. We trolled Saturday morning, Sunday morning. Monday morning, Abel was going to go out with Gramp again. I got up, and so Aaron texted me, and he was like, I'll meet you at the front gate at the campsite at 5:30.
Yeah.
So I got up at 4 to make 100% sure I was like ready to go. Packed all my shit. Had my waders and boots on, like just to hop in the truck and roll. So we go out to the gate. Mandy drove me out there. So we're waiting. And we're waiting.
Oh, no.
And we're waiting. So I texted Aaron. I said, hey, just want to make... I mean, you said 5:30, right? And this is at like 5:45.
Mm-hmm.
A little while goes, hey, just checking you on your way. I get a text back, dude, my alarm didn't go off.
Ah, the old alarm clock.
I'm so sorry. So he got there. He was like, I'll be there in 20. And he got there in like 15. So we went up. We didn't fish the mag. Fished another spot. So it was like a 15-minute drive, 20-minute drive. Get there, walk down, and I tied like on a small dry fly, something I could see. And it's like this small little run, super shallow. And I started casting. Aaron's like, we're not going to fish here. And I was like, I made one more cast, fucking caught a fish.
Yeah.
And he was like, huh. I guess I have on the wrong fly or whatever.
Yeah.
So we go down a little ways. I catch another small one, small salmon, probably like 8 inches long. And a little bit further, now we're wading up into like just below our nuts. And there's like there was a log that came out into the river. And the water was fast up against it, and then it came off slow.
Yeah.
So he had me like cast into the fast water and then drift off into the slow. And I was like wiggling the fly a little bit, and then all of a sudden this big brook trout, or good sized brook trout, came up. And it was like the most subtle, like just came up, spun, and fucking ate it. And I set the hook and fought the fish in, got it. Go to put my net in it. And I feel pop. Like, motherfucker. So originally, at first I thought the fish was off.
Yeah.
And then I saw my rod tip in the water. And I was like, motherfucker. And Aaron saw that and he was like, is the fish still on? I said, yep. And so we got it. And he's like, oh, you must have just not had it connected all the way. I was like, no, it broke.
Yeah.
And he was like, no. I mean, obviously, you saw the video.
Yeah, I saw the video, and as soon as I heard that sound, I had like a little flashback, like being back in Nam.
So
there is no mistaking the sound of a fucking carbon and fiberglass rod just snapping. Clean break.
Yeah, and it was a clean break. And I mean, looking up at it, I was still trying to get the fish in, and looking up at it, it did look like it
came apart,
popped off. And then I was like, wait a second, that's the bottom of that section.
Yeah.
So anyways, Aaron said it. He was like, well, let's enjoy the fish for now. We'll worry about the rod in a minute.
Yeah.
So we did. Biggest brook trout I've ever caught, probably 14 or 15 inches. I mean, it wasn't super fat, but it was a nice fish.
Yeah.
And so inspected the rod. It was definitely broken. And Aaron was like, well, you can use this one. Aaron forgot his 5-weight at home or something. So all he had was his daughter's 3-weight. And he was like, well, use this. I tied my fly onto that, and he took my rod back to the vehicle, and then came back down and he had his nymph rod.
Yeah.
And we fished 2 or 3 hours, I think, and I must have caught 10 or 11 fish, all really small except for that big one.
Yeah.
But it was a blast. He went and checked out another hole, and I stayed where we were at, fishing that same section back and forth. And one cool thing that happened was I was standing there catching fish and missing fish, and there's a guy probably from me to your garage wall away, a little bit further, and Aaron had walked up and talked to him, and he's like, how you doing? He goes, Good. Not much catching going on, but I've been watching him catch fish. And he points at me, which was kind of neat. But it was a good trip.
There's no better fish to catch than in front of someone else. Yeah. That Thursday night when we took the boat out and we went to dinner via boat, and then as we're sitting at dinner, I'm just watching birds work in front of us. Like literally, like I could have gone down, stood on my boat, and fished from the dock and caught fish. Like there were fish fucking everywhere. And so we finish up dinner, walk down, get back on the boat, pull out, and I like look to the left, and there is just, I mean, a tornado of turns. I was like, well, we're going that way. Like it's high tide. I know I've got enough water to get through all over there. So we went over there, and there's another boat with a guy just fucking heaving these plugs like 90 fucking feet. Like fucking casting, retrieving, just traditional fishing.
Yeah.
And so he was kind of like on one side, and I came up the other side, and like so we kind of had like the fish between the two of us with a bunch of structure in between us. And he kept moving around. He could not get a bite. I fucking pull out a fly rod. Within 4 casts and retrievals, I had a fucking fish on. There might be some shit talking videos that will never see the light of day, but I didn't necessarily realize I was on camera the entire time. My wife was so lovely in recording as I'm sitting there going, yeah, just fucking keep ripping a fucking plug across the top of the water when they're not fucking hitting the top waters, you idiot. But I gotta tie up some striper flies because what is working right now, I don't have a lot left, so.
Yep.
I gave some away, gave a couple. I've given, well, it's funny, like the other night when you and I went out.
Yeah.
And I know you want to fish that game changer so bad, and I know you want to fish on it so bad.
Yeah.
And
you caught that one.
I caught that
fucking game changer.
I caught that fucking fish, and I was like, all right, this fly's still working. I was like, hey, Huey, you're going to cut that fucking game changer off right now. I was like, we're done with this.
Yeah.
And like, I actually did change. I went to a different color. I was just bored. Like, when we were around the shipyard, we couldn't get anything to fucking eat. And like, the most frustrating thing is like sitting there watching fish just down below you. Like, it was to the point where I was just like ready to just start just like dropping flies down and just bouncing them off of fucking fish's heads.
Yeah.
Because there were so many fish in there. Like, it was silly. But like, honestly, for the amount of fish that were in there and the amount of boats that were there, to see no one else catching fish, like, I had like the coolest follow in there, and like I ran out of space. Like, I couldn't do anything more with where I was in the boat, and also like where I was on the amount of line I had out. Like,
yep.
I only had like 2 feet of fucking line left outside of the tip of my rod to the fly. And like, there's just this striper like just stalking my fly. And I was like, this is fucking so sick right now. But didn't have the luck on the old live bait for stripers. So, I guess I'm out on it. I got fucking go sell all those rods too.
What was I gonna say?
What?
Yeah, so I had a lot of first striper. Oh, and that, what I was gonna say was, and you gave me that guitar minnow to tie on, and obviously that, I mean, that fly's never gonna see the water again. It's hooked into my headliner, and so
I'm actually gonna call it the 7-string.
The 7-string?
Yeah, because they ain't guitars. Those, and like, it's like that batch of flies I tied.
Yeah.
they're fucking retarded looking. Like, the gills, like, that are supposed to be on a guitar minnow are not supposed to look like what the fuck I tied. But it was like, I was just like sitting there one night and I was like, well, I mean, it's red. I'm just going to use fucking deer hair for this. Like, whatever. And, dude, those have been fucking lights out for me this year.
Yeah.
Unreal. And, like, actually, one of them, the one I had on for Friday night or Thursday night fishing, I actually ended up pulling it back into the boat and I grabbed my nippers and I started cutting material out of the fly. I was like, there's too much shit here. And that's been like so I'm going to tie some a little different, like with not quite as much fucking material. Cause I mean, they're not after big fish right now. Like there are mackerel around now. They're not in their normal spots. Like it's definitely like early for mackerel too.
Yeah.
I mean, fuck, dude, water temperature is like fucking 52. Like it's not
super warm.
But I'm also realizing how much fuel my fucking boat holds. I'm like really curious now, like what is actually left in that fucking boat. I have not fucking put any fuel in that boat this year. None. Not a drop. And we were out for 2.5 hours last night, and I brought a 5-gallon can because I'm like, I'm going to run out of fuel. I have to.
Yeah.
And like I was saying to you, like, this is my anxiety. Like, just not having the fuel when I need it. Mm-hmm. That's the only thing. Like, and anytime we go fishing, like, if I know I'm going out, unless it's like just me and I know, like, all right, I filled up yesterday. And, like, we were only out for, like, an hour or two the day before. Like, I'm not worried about it. But, like, normally, any day I go fishing, I come home and I'll put fuel in that boat.
Does that not have a working gauge?
It has a gauge. It works. The accuracy may be a bit of a question.
Gotcha.
It's been an E for a while. But it's also, like, a 60... It's either 68 or like I did the so I couldn't find any markings on. It's the original tank from the boat. I think it's original. I don't know. I actually should look up like what did a 20-foot Seahawks come with for a tank.
Ask AI. I wonder. You still have your hull tag, right?
No.
Oh, I thought you kept it.
I have the boat identification numbers. But I don't have the there's no Coast Guard tag.
Gotcha.
I don't know if that's a problem if anything ever happens. I don't know.
It's a problem for somebody else because
they're going to be like, well, who makes this? You're looking at him.
Me.
Yeah.
Speaking of Chat GPT, the other night, after I made that comment about like Ian asking the agricultural commissioners about why beef jerky is so expensive.
Yeah.
I went into Chat GPT and I was like, Donald Trump speech, but make it about beef jerky prices being too high. And it it fucking ripped off this speech about beef, like how good hardworking Americans should not have to pay astronomical prices for delicious, tasty beef jerky snacks.
Yeah.
It's fucking awesome.
I don't know. They're just showing me boats for sale. I don't want that.
I'll ask Chat GPT.
All right, you do that. Yeah. There we go. We got the old Seahawks page. Categories. Center console. 20. Oh, can't get to that page. Okay, cool. I can't get to any pages here. Sick.
20-foot Seahawks typically came with a fuel tank capacity of around 50 to 60 gallons. Can vary depending on the specific model and configuration of the boat.
Well, it's definitely got fucking 50 gallons in it. Because I took like 55 gallons out of that thing.
Oh, when you redid the tank.
When I emptied the tank. It's a big fucking tank.
Yeah.
That's a lot of fucking fuel. I mean, when you really start thinking about it, right? So, because like I did the measurements, like I measured the tank and then did the volumetric calculations. And it was like 67. So 60, it's probably 65 is what it's labeled as.
Yeah.
Maybe only as a 60, just label just to make sure it doesn't like, that gives you a spare 5 gallons or whatever. But the sending unit has never worked like awesome. There is a gauge locally on the fucking thing. I don't know if that actually works. I might put a new sending unit in it. I don't know. I don't really care. Because I'm going to be able to put pump gas in it. So it's like, the fuck do I care?
Yeah.
Just put pump gas in it. Like, that's easy. But we'll see. We got I rip off the old motor. Went by, saw the old boat mechanic. He was working on his boat. He's not happy. He's put new heads on one of his engines. Then started it up and was blowing fucking oil out of the exhaust. So that's not great.
Yeah.
So he's got to redo something.
Especially with tuna fishing.
Kind of like open right now. Yeah. Yeah, kind of an important time to have the boat working.
Yeah.
But I also got a $200 credit to a fly shop, so trying to figure out what I want to do.
To Eldridge?
No, to Trident.
Oh, yeah? Oh, yeah, you traded that rod.
Dude, their gear trade-in?
That's what you were saying.
That's so sick. Like, so easy.
I'm still like building up my arsenal of rods, so I don't want to get rid of anything yet.
Well, like, I've had that 9 weight for 10 years. I had that in my old house.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm never gonna fucking fish this thing, ever. I don't even own it.
I'll tell you what, that I haven't fished that Echo rod yet, but that TFO, I
nice
like
rod.
that.
Yeah.
I was super happy with that. And, I mean, the combination of that line that Aaron gave me on that reel.
It shoots pretty good.
Yeah.
Didn't blow up on you.
Nope. Well, I also didn't really hook into anything that was going to rip drag.
No.
I started to strip that striper in by hand, and then I was like, fuck that. I'm going to fight this thing. So I put it on the reel.
I'll get him on the reel.
So now I just got to work on that next, like, 20 to 26 inch class fish.
They're here. They're fucking everywhere.
I'm going to have to sweet talk Heath into let me come on his boat one night with you guys.
Anytime. I think we might be letting little sleeping dog lie on pushing to get out on that right now. Don't believe the wife was super happy with us.
I was going to say.
By the end of last week.
Yeah.
Yeah. We fished Tuesday together. And then we fished Friday from 5. Or no. Friday, I dropped his daughter off, and I brought his wife dinner. I mean, she ordered it. I just picked it up. But she's handicapped right now, so she was thankful. And so that was it. Yeah, I got to him at like 6. And I didn't get home till 10:40. I was back on the water at 5 until 10. It was a little bit of time.
I messaged him about coming on the podcast because I'm the talent finder.
Yeah.
And he ghosted me.
Oh, he's like, I don't know what I'd fucking talk about. He said something to me about it. I was like, whatever, just come shoot the shit.
Yeah, exactly. Come talk fishing.
Talk about, fish?
Fishing.
That's what we do. I gotta get Aaron down and out too.
Yeah. He was talking about, I was talking with him at one point about going out with him where he's been going, waiting.
Yeah.
Just hasn't come to fruition yet. But he'll be out for summer pretty soon.
Yeah. Once summer starts. Summer's already started.
Yeah. Last night I went to Abel's. He had a court of honor for Boy Scouts where he got some of his merit badges and stuff. And Mandy was like, "Are you going to come?" I was like, "The only reason that I would not go is if I got a phone call about striper fishing."
Yeah.
That's it. So she was like, "Well, I hope that doesn't happen." I was like, "No, you can't say that."
Yeah.
Because we had a deal. Fishing comes first this summer.
Yeah. We had a deal when you said, "Love you through everything," and then you said, "I do."
Exactly.
This is now everything. just so we're clear.
But with they had it at this park, and the park is right on the Mousom River. And I was watching the river, and you could see fish eating dries. Motherfucker. I did get out trout fish down here a couple nights ago. The water was low, so there was not much water moving.
Yeah.
There was fish. I caught 2 or 3 trout, and then I sent a shiner for its final ride into a tree.
Nice.
Because I set the hook and it came flying out, fucking pow!
Good luck, buddy.
Dislodged the hook from its own mouth.
Little rocket man. Yeah, I just put them up before we started recording, but I haven't heard from Scott yet.
I talked to a guy the other day. I was talking to him I told him about my rod. He's like, "Yeah, I broke a Scott." I was like, "Buddy of mine broke a Scott this year." He's like, "Has he gotten it back yet?" I was like, "He hasn't even heard from him." He's like, "I got mine back in 3 weeks."
I'm not expecting a real quick turnaround.
Yeah. I couldn't, with Main Fly Guys, I broke that rod Monday. I had the new section Wednesday afternoon.
Yeah.
So I was pretty pumped about that. So.
Pretty good customer service there.
That is pretty good. He made it right, for sure. And the rod's out of warranty, technically. So.
That's something that bugs me with, I mean, I guess you can't know what people are doing all the time with shit, but, for me, especially, waders, duck hunting waders,
Yeah.
it should be 1 calendar year of hunting.
Yeah. Yeah.
So if that's October till fucking January, that's 3 months. So I get 4 of those. And if your shit breaks by then, I've only technically used it for a year.
Yeah.
I'm not doing anything else.
Yeah, they should warranty it by hunting season.
Right.
Yeah.
And, not just 1 season. If you put a year-long warranty on something, all right, well, that's 4 fucking hunting seasons.
Yeah.
Now, if you get a call from someone in fucking August that their waders, or in like fucking April that their waders are leaking, like, okay,
skeptical.
You weren't using them for.
You're putting
Not everyone is like me where I have to have different shit for different things. Well, that was like one of the things. There's a guy waiting. We came in through and are on the backside of the Wentworth and through that way last night on our way back home. And there's guys out there like standing, waiting, fishing. And I'm like, I don't think I'd go wear my trout waders in the salt.
Unless you're going to hose them off immediately when you get home.
Yeah.
Like, I wouldn't, because, I mean, that salt's going to...
It's just going to be shitty for them. And I'm like... So then
I will, but...
Then I have to... Then I have to get another pair of waders and another pair of wading boots. It's like, God damn it.
I would want to wear duck hunting waders fishing.
Oh. So, we are up there, right? We're up, we get to the mag, and we stop at this one section where there's 3 trucks. And I'm like, God damn it. Like, well, it was 3 different dudes.
Yeah.
They were all together. And one of them was walking out, and then he's like, yeah, the other 2 should be coming. He's like, I don't know, we lost one of them. He's like, but I'm fucking done with this. He comes walking up in fucking, like, camo Rennie's special duck hunting waders with more fucking duct tape than fucking neoprene or fucking canvas material. And I was just like, oh boy. And like, sort of also love it because it's like true Maine style. The dude is walking with like a fucking bright yellow fucking fly rod, like Eagle Claw special.
Yeah.
Rocking a tackle box with his flies in
fucking
it.
Right.
I was like,
he's out there.
You know, dude, that is fantastic. And he's actually a dog trainer. They had dogs with him. He had Chessies. The other guy he was with had Labs. And then they're from, like, two of them live in Mass. One of the guys lives in Kingston, New Hampshire. We got talking with them. Like, we couldn't pull anything out of down there, but don't take our words for it. I wanted to be like, well, I mean, to be fair, I wasn't going to when I saw your apparel. And I'm not saying that I'm going to judge a book by its cover, but I'm
judging a book by its
cover. But
I'm
definitely going to judge it. I'm profiling. I will profile the fuck out of somebody.
So I've used those eye waders half a dozen times now.
Yeah.
I'm very happy with them so far.
Big fan of those?
I don't think I'm a huge fan. I mean, there's some quirks about them that I would change, but I definitely, I mean, they work good for me.
Yeah.
And they're comfortable. They breathe well. They're stretchy, so you can move around in them. Yeah. I would change a couple of things. It was my fault. Like the way I ordered them, I would have ordered the legs a little bit larger, like one size up, one inch larger, because I did have to cut the gravel guards to get them to go down over my boots. But other than that,
it's just custom tailored.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but other than that, comfortable. Yeah. That's about all I got for tonight.
How was the what's upcoming? We're just on to stripers now?
On to stripers, a little bit of trout fishing. I want to catch as many stripers on a fly rod as I can this year.
That's how I started this year, and now I'm like,
I don't even want to pick up a spinning rod.
Yeah. I may bring all my spinning stuff back. I mean, I won't because of the kids, but
yeah. But like, I feel like if I'm going out with you and that's what I want to do, then that's what we should do, because I mean, we both enjoy it, obviously. So
yeah.
It's not like you want to spin fish and I want to fly fish.
No.
And I got no problem. Like if it's you and I and you just need me to kick the boat in and out of neutral, just tell me where to steer it.
I can't wait for this new engine too. It'll be so nice.
Yeah.
I need to get that fucking thing. We don't have any soccer this weekend. I did just find out that I'm going to be driving all over like Portland area on Father's Day weekend for a whole soccer tournament that I didn't know was happening. I was like looking at the calendar and I'm like, maybe I'll just go hit the Wild. I was like, I want to do a day up on the Wild.
Yeah.
And I got the Father's Day pass to say, hey, I'll be back to cook. Fuck it. Why do fathers have to cook on fucking Father's Day? Like, what the fuck?
It beats me.
But it's like, oh, it's Father's Day weekend. Let's grill out.
Who mans the grill?
Yeah, fucking fire it up there, honey.
Yeah.
Fucking let her rip on the grill. Good luck. No, Dad's cooking his own fucking dinner on fucking Father's Day. That shit doesn't fly on Mother's Day, does it? Nope.
Right.
But I was gonna do the Wild. Go up there with the old man. But apparently I'll be on a soccer field somewhere. And the best part is the tournament is put on by the club that my daughter plays for. They have yet to release the schedule. I'm like, this is helpful. Like, I kind of like to know what time of day my kid's playing so I can plan my fishing trip. The other part of me is like, all right, who do I know up in that general area? Where could I stash my boat? And then I could just go fish Casco, either before or after. And I was like, maybe Mr. Broadus is going to have a fucking 20-foot boat sitting in front of his fucking house on the road.
Yeah.
I was like, that wouldn't be a bad play. Although I do need to put new tires on the old fucking boat trailer.
Yeah, you want to do that before you haul it up the highway.
Yeah, the starboard tire is smooth.
That's right side.
Yeah, right side. Right side.
I just employed that Evan gave me from last year.
What's that one?
Port, 4 letters. Left is 4 letters.
I used the same exact explanation with my daughter yesterday.
Well, me and Liv are on the same wavelength.
Oh, and I'm off Facebook. In other news, if no one realized it,
I do it.
I'm not selling.
Every once in a while, I get a notification that you are you even actively trying to get it back?
No, I tried so I got home. It happened on Thursday night, I think.
Yeah, while you were up north. Right?
Yeah, I was up north. I got to dinner, and it was the only time I got service because there was Wi-Fi there, and my phone literally almost melted with all the text messages from fucking people I haven't talked to in 3 fucking years. I'm like, what the fuck is going on? And then so I just went to Leah's messages, and then she's like, it was like, hey, hope you have a good day. Hope your day's going well. By the way, you got hacked. So don't know what you're going to do about that. I know you don't have service. And so I was like, all right. So that's why I have all, because I was literally looking at names of text messages I was getting, and I'm like, why are you talking to me?
Yeah.
Like, and so I was like, well, that's unfortunate. So fuck it, whatever. And then Friday night when I got home, I tried to get some of it back, but then it had been so long since like my first notifications. Like it's more than 24 hours. So they're like, yeah, we can't do anything. And I'm like, cool. And there's no one to talk to. Like, you can't just like DM fucking Facebook support. Fucking perfect. So.
We don't have a phone anymore either.
Yeah, but they didn't take my Instagram. They didn't take the Instagram for the podcast. We're still good to go.
I saw it, and
someone I work with or have worked with in the past fell victim and sent money.
Really?
And to that, I say,
what's your problem?
That's like I'm trying not to be an asshole, but like, are you fucking stupid?
I saw it and I was like, Garrett doesn't have a Jeep Compass. That I was like, he must have got hacked, so I immediately went and changed my password.
Yeah. Well, if you see anything, anyone listening, just report my fucking profile as hacked or stolen or fucking whatever.
What about the Facebook for the podcast?
So that's still there. I can still post to it from Instagram, but I can't get to the page because I don't have Facebook anymore. So you can't just have a Facebook.
Do you remember the password for it? Oh, I have it on my phone, so I can access it.
Okay.
As a user for the Facebook.
There you go.
Podcast.
All right, Huey is talent and social media manager now.
I don't have Instagram.
Oh, I can send that to you. I don't mind posting on that once a month.
I kind of feel special when I see Mainly Stoopid mention me in their story, so
I'll keep it up. Yeah. Yeah, we got a
boat motor transplant, fishing. We're fishing.
It's fishing season. Yeah, we got one day of soccer tomorrow, then tournament on Father's Day weekend. Soccer's done.
Till fall.
Till August, and then it all starts again.
And we're just going to fish and let everything melt down around us and clean it up.
Cool thing last night, actually, before we get out of here, we got to see the Mike Seipert, pilot for Portsmouth Naval Shipyard.
That was pretty cool.
He was taking out one of the Hornbeck supply boats. They just brought a bunch of ships, or a bunch of work boats up from like down in Georgia or something. And
they had a Hornbeck boat up here?
Yeah.
Oh shit.
Yeah, Hornbeck does all the transportation for the Navy.
Yeah.
For like their like work boat stuff. And my dad's like, why the fuck are they up here? I was like, because they're the cheapest fucking bidder, and that's how the government works.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's not really a big question. But we were cruising through, like, I was just coming around, like, by the river to go up to BG's, and I heard something on the radio, and it was like, such and such Rosebud headed out past marker 11, just a notice to mariners in the Piscataqua River. And I was like, that fucking voice was real familiar. But like, we had music playing, like my dad was, like, we were all talking on the boat. So I turned the VHF back up, and I was like, all right, we're just going to keep steaming towards the river. And we're coming up closer to like getting into the Piscataqua, and I see the ship, and I was like, oh, no shit. And then he came across again, like, you know, we are officially outbound with fucking the Rosebud. And I was like, that's fucking Mike. And so I texted him, and he didn't answer right away. I mean,
naturally.
What the fuck, dude? Like,
yeah.
You text and drive a fucking ship. Like, you're just there to make sure they don't hit shit.
Autopilot.
Yeah, I mean, well, what the fuck? And so I was like, all right, we'll just go fucking rip by him. I was like, he'll see us. Like, and so it was like right by the prison. And I start going down the river on the correct side, and there's a fucking stupid fucking scout center console coming up the fucking wrong side, coming up the river, trying to stay out of the fucking way. But like, I'm like, well, dumb.
Yeah.
Like, this is not how we this is not how you pass on the road. This is not how you pass on the water. Like, this should be pretty simple to fucking understand.
Yeah.
So I was like, all right, well, now I've got to crowd across the wake of this thing, which actually, that boat does not leave. There's no swell.
That Navy tug?
No, the Hornbeck boat.
Gotcha.
Because he's on the Hornbeck boat until they get out. And so I swung back around the ass end of that thing and just pinned it and went flying downriver. And then I got a phone call. I felt my wrist like vibrating because it was going to my watch. But I'm like, I'm doing like 36 knots downriver right now in front of a massive ship headed towards the Navy tugboat. And I'm like, I can't answer. And then like, so we're getting down towards Fishing Island, and Leah's like, oh, he's calling me. So I just backed the boat down, like we were right in front of the tugboat. And he's like, hey, you guys just went flying by me. It's like, yeah, no shit. Like, kind of figured that out.
Yeah.
And then we cut across and back in front of him, back to the Portsmouth side of the river. And we watched him hop off onto the tug. And then, like, he was just standing up on the bridge wing of the tugboat, like, talking to us.
Yeah.
When Leah's talking to him on the phone. And then the tugboat captain comes over the fucking loudspeaker. Well, first he hits the horn for the girls. Yeah. And the girls were like, that's so fucking cool. And those tugs are fucking so sick.
Those are awesome.
Those azimuth paws they have. Like, he's like, don't kind of come near us right now. We're just literally going to go the other way. He's like, because like they were headed out to sea and then they just stopped and then they went right back the other way.
That's wild.
And, but so the guy comes across the radio and he's like, do you want to race? And I was like, absolutely. And Mike's on the phone. He's like, yeah, I hate to tell you, you're going to lose that race to the guy inside. It's like, so like we just kind of like, we kind of followed him in. And then as soon as we were getting ready to make the turn to go upriver, I just punched it. They were leaving a wake.
Yeah.
They were leaving, like, there was also a sailboat league going on out front. Like, there were boats in and out of the river. And, like, I was coming out. I went to go back up and around him. And, like, I was surfing that fucking boat for, like, a while. Like, I held it on top of one of the waves. And, like, we were just kind of sitting there. And I was like, all right, trying to plan an exit strategy here that doesn't throw everyone around in my boat. Yeah. And I was like, well, God hates a coward. Just fucking. And we just went down into it, hit one. It wasn't that bad. And then we came out and went fucking ripping by a sailboat. And then took the corner. And then I just sat up in like the, whatever that, like towards Pierce Island, that, that cut through to go towards Wentworth. I just sat like right in the mouth of that, just doing donuts. Cause I was like, I just have to burn fuel right now. Like, I don't really want to lose my engine right here, but like, I've been out for 3 hours now and I still have fuel. I'm like, God fucking damn it.
That's funny.
But yeah, it's been a good year. Oh, it was also apparently like some convocation or awards night at Trape last night.
Yeah. So parking was a little jammed up.
Not when I got there.
No.
When I was leaving. So I parked, and like normally I park in the front row.
Yeah.
I have a parking spot I really like. There was a car there, which I was like, why the fuck is there a car over here? Like, it makes no sense to be parked there.
Yeah.
Like, there's no one else around. And I was like, huh. So I swung out even further and went, and I was the second or third in on the second row. But I had to like pull forward and then back up straight. And so my trailer was actually like in one lane or one parking spot. And I'm like, all right, that should be good. I come back up and like there's cars everywhere. And I'm like, if I can't make this corner, I was like, am I going to have to pop my trailer off and like push it by hand around this parking lot?
Yeah.
To then be able to like get out and then drive my truck around and then rehook up. I'm like, this could really suck right now.
Yeah.
And like, I took my time and like, I went as far wide one way as I could and then cut it back as hard as I could. Like, I was fucking close to some cars. And like, the trailer came by the car that was next to me with like 3 inches of fucking space. I was like, but if I had parked one space over, I was fucked.
Yeah.
Like, I would have just been like, well, I guess we're hanging out here till this fucking event's over.
Yeah.
And I don't have Facebook, so I can't tell when the fucking harbor master tells us fucking shit like that, because that's the only place he posts.
He doesn't answer his messages.
No?
I'm going to message John directly.
What's the... Oh,
about
yeah.
the Flyberry thing.
Yeah. Just go down and see him. He's always down at Pepperell Cove with his new boat.
Yeah.
Prick. That thing's so nice.
That is a sweet boat.
All right. That's all I got for tonight.
Same. We'll talk to you next week.
Hopefully we'll have a new motor ready to go. That's the plan. Sort of. I don't really know how hard this is going to be.
Should be plug and play, right?
Yeah. Yeah, sure. I guess. I don't know. I don't know what else I'm supposed to do with it.
Tim?
Worst case scenario, offer Tim beers and have him come to my shop.
All right. Well, we'll see you next week. Hopefully the new motor. Who knows?
Go fish.
Get out. Dodge the raindrops for the next few days. Love yous. Peace.